I care a lot, as I think most of us do, about what's going to happen this year. What is going to happen going forward for world stage politics and for local politics. Um, I don't know if I can get any more specific about that. I care a lot because of the actual physical impact on my body and on my family and on my psyche, and on the bodies and psyches of the people I love. Being in a minority group is, I am on the fringe of society, and I mean, I'm a dominantly Aquarius placement person. I'm not an astrologist, but I know enough to know enough about what that means for my journey and how that explains why I am always on the fringe. I see things that people don't. I experience things that most people are flying too high to really be able to connect with, and that has been an incredible resource, especially in my advocacy work and in the way that I show up for people and also for myself. So for a while there, I was interested in NDE things. I also am a firm believer in hypnosis and past life theory. I work with these things, and I work with timelines as well. There are people who do timeline jumping. I also timeline jump, but there are times when I wish that I could timeline jump to something that would be so much easier, so much more peaceful. And the fact of the matter is that whenever I've asked, my highest self has said, that's not your path. And I'm just like, rude. I don't want to do this. I don't want to experience political turmoil that makes it so that I'm not allowed to have rights. How do we fix this? And a lot of it comes down to forging my own path, which also means that I need to forge my own path through some things that I don't like. Now, I absolutely believe that there are people who are on a higher timeline, who are in higher dimensions already, who don't have to go through this debacle. But that's not me. And you know how people say, well, like, how to put it? If you only believed you could have a better life and experience better things. I'm like, yeah, but sometimes in order to graduate college, you kind of gotta go to the classes and do the homework and turn in the assignments in order to get that degree. Your skin in the game is your skin in the game because that's how you win the game. You don't win the game if you're not playing. You can watch, but you're not winning. And there are also people who say, everyone who's incarnated here, who is here, chose to be here for this time. And I gotta say, some people are gonna opt out. Some people get to change their minds. And every time I've tried to change my mind, every time I've tried to opt out, I've been gently guided back. And not from a place of control. I have had near-death experiences a lot in my life. And the one that was really pivotal for me was very much this deep, soul-searching, do I want to continue? What is this even for? Do I want this? And the straight up answer that I came to was, yes, I do want to continue. I do want to be in this body for as long as I can, doing the things that I want to do, but that means that I'm going to have to be doing the things that I want to do, not what anybody else wants for me. And I'm going to have to face my fears, not because I like them, but because I don't like them, and because I have been afraid of them. It's a leap of faith, and I don't like it. And yet I do. Because if you never actually take the leap, you don't get to experience the weightlessness of flying. Of course, if you jump out of a plane, metaphorically speaking, and you forget your parachute, that flying sensation is going to end rather catastrophically. That's not what I want. That's not why I'm jumping out of the plane. I'm jumping out to skydive and to have a pleasant stop to that skydive where I am still intact, where my body does not splat, where it feels invigorated and feels good. But how do you sit in that plane and put on that parachute and trust that you've put it on correctly, and then actually make the decision to jump? Like, you can have all the teachers in the world, and you can have all the good gear in the world, and what if it goes wrong? And what if it doesn't go wrong in the end? What if it goes wrong in the middle and you smack into a flight of birds? Like that poor bird. Like, I don't want that. But I wanted this. I wanted to be alive. Much to my own honest surprise, I wanted to be alive for this. And every time I worry about it, I have to go back and reevaluate and say, do I really want this? And I come to the ways in which I want it. I was talking with my kids today about the power of our imaginations and the power of our community and the power of our desires in affecting global change. And I wanted to come on here and talk about that here as well, because I think this is a much needed topic, not just for kids going through a broken public school system, but also for grown-ups who went through a broken public school system and are going through a broken governmental system, broken religious system, broken family system, like all the systems. How do we enjoy the jump? How do we enjoy the fall of the Roman Empire? And the answer is it's not just what we focus on. It's our connection to our purpose. Because you can focus on the good and you can feel good in your body, and that's a very important thing. That's what turns fear into excitement, or excitement into fear, is your focus. But if you are mindful of why you are taking the jump, you're going to put up with more of the difficulties of navigating than if you don't know why you did it, or somebody made you, or you think somebody made you. Because a lot of times when we first awaken, we're like, well, my guides made me. No, they can't do that. They don't do that. Or they're like, my higher self made me do it. you do need to consent to things in order for them to happen. And it's also true that you need to consent to your highest good. You need to consent to the good things because your guides do actually need your consent to give you good things. Whereas negative or regressive entities do not use your consent and try to push you around. If you don't have good boundaries, they're going to push you around into something that you really don't like. And it's the opposite of the beautiful, consensual community that we came to experience. Often a lot of us are fighting that negative experience and these entities as spiritual warriors so that we can get back to the consensual receiving of good things. But it's not our highest self forcing us. It's not the universe forcing us. Because on some level, if we're still here, we want to be here doing this. Now, humans are incredibly mixed. There are good and bad things about humans. There are good and bad motivations. There are pure and impure desires. There are things and a pure desire is one that is pretty focused, that is, consistent. It's like, yeah. I don't know that I really need to get into it here. Let me know if you would like me to get into it in another video, because that's another topic. But when we're here and we are experiencing things, we get to decide, is this something I really am invested in? Is this purpose that I signed up for, that I begged for? Do I still want to fulfill this purpose? Do I feel like I have the tools? And if I don't feel like I have the tools, do I want to work to get the tools so that I can actually fulfill the purpose? Because a lot of what we do here is put together slapdash, honestly. Sometimes, if we're going with our analogy, somebody takes our parachute, or they cut the line and we're like, oh shoot, my parachute's not attached properly, help. And then, whoever's skydiving with us is like, here, fix it. Because we got each other. That's the point of being here together. If we were just skydiving by ourselves, there would be no sabotage, but there would also be no support if something ever went wrong. So it's important to do so in community with people who are good actors, who care about us. And if something goes wrong, we have to believe that we have the tools to fix it before we hit the ground. And that has been a very important perspective for me, that in this 2025 hellscape, if we want an answer and we want support, we have people who came here with us to offer that. And it's important to connect with them in safety. And we came here for a good reason, because we don't want it to be a hellscape, not just for ourselves, but for the people we love. If it was just me, I would have been out before now. I would have been like, nope, see ya. But I stayed primarily for the people that I came here with. And I'm happy to. And there are people who came for me, who are happy to be here for me. And that, I think, is the perspective that we need to carry out our purpose, and to enjoy the jump, and to enjoy the fall of the Roman Empire. Anyway, I am going to finish this video. If there's anything that needs to be elaborated on, I'll probably do a different video. have a good day.